I'm Mary Bray. For the past year, I've been looking at real estate opportunities around the world. I'd heard about Oman, which is a country not far from Kuwait. So when I had the opportunity to visit, I jumped at the chance to discover a very special corner of Arabia. I landed in the capital city of Muscat. Muscat is a beautiful city of white buildings, rich in culture and history. When you hear about the Gulf states, you think of oil, OPEC, and wealthy sheiks. Yet Oman is much more than oil or even desert. It is a country of ancient cultures. My guide for the trip was Nasser. He wore traditional Omani clothing, as all Omanis are required to wear in public. He was going to show me the market in Muscat, which was called the souk. There are coastal towns of Oman where the catch is brought in at dawn. Most of the fishing in the Gulf is still done on traditional wooden boats called dhows. Fishermen spread out fish on the sand where merchants can inspect them and make their bids. And everybody rushes to get the fish to the market or into freezers before the heat of the day sets in. During the next day on my trip to Oman, Nasser and I decided to visit the Bedouins in the desert. The Bedouins are an independent people who lead a nomadic lifestyle roaming the Arabian desert. We came across a small settlement. The women and children were beautifully dressed with silk and wraps. It wasn't what you would expect from people in the desert. Covered as much for modesty as to protect them against the sun. The men wore long flowing robes with headdresses. The way the men tied their headdress determines what regions they're from. What do you call these things?
Barga.
Baka?
Barga.
Baka?
Barga.
Barga.
Yes.
Barga. I was surprised the veil was cool because it was light and gauzy. I think the opinion we have of women who are covered is that they're being hidden or suffocated in those veils, but it's just the opposite because the veils are cool and protect them from the heat. When we think of the Gulf states, we think of wealth and oil. Yet behind all of this, there are people of many traditions and cultures. So it was an opportunity to get to know the people better. I saw sights I could never have imagined in a desert country. It's been a real learning experience.